Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Journeys review series. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 40, so I hope you enjoy. So after the week's break from Pokemon Journeys, this episode returned on its new schedule, being released on a Friday rather than a Sunday. And it returned with a really solid episode. The episode was all about Zapdos. Professor Reese tasked Ash and Go of setting out to find a Zapdos, as there was a load of thunderclouds appearing in Vermilion City, and Go deducted that it would be a legendary Pokemon causing them, and Zapdos was also causing all the power to go out in the city, and Ash and Go naturally were both pumped to battle it, and even Ash said he wanted to capture it, which I really liked. Ash and Go headed out to find Zapdos, and they saw a bunch of thunderclouds, but they soon disappeared, so they thought it had left. But Go had a feeling that it was still around somewhere, so he ran off despite the professor telling them to go to the port. Go was pretty cool in this episode. He seemed to dictate things once again, which has been the trend in the last few episodes. I would have liked Ash to maybe do a little bit more this episode, but that would be my only complaint. They arrive at a power plant that powers the lab's electricity, and they find Team Rocket sneaking around, and they're actually looking for a new base, which was pretty funny. And then they find none other than Zapdos sitting on the giant generator. This reminded me of the games where you find Zapdos at the power plant and it's just sitting there waiting. Team Rocket decide to help Ash and Go this one time in a raid battle. I like that raid battles are becoming more common in the anime. I don't really care for them in the games, but it's cool seeing them here in the anime because it lets 4 characters all have a part to play in the episode. Although I do have to say this raid battle in particular was very underwhelming. Team Rocket didn't really do much. They had 2 ground types which was perfect for them, but they wasn't even able to damage Zapdos before it flew out the window, so I would have liked them to do a bit more. But it switches to focus on Go because Ash stays behind and deals with Team Rocket, just like how he did in the Aerodactyl episode, which is another reason why I wish Ash just did a bit more in this episode. But once Go chases after Zapdos and heads to the roof to face it, the episode becomes really good. The battle between Go and Zapdos was epic. He brings out his Flygon, which is a smart choice against Zapdos, and hits it with a Dragon Breath, and then straight away throws the Pokeball at it. At this point I was really worried actually. I was saying please don't let him catch it this easily, but thankfully it breaks out and they continue the battle. The battle gets pretty intense with Raboot jumping on the top of Flygon and using the same move that Go used against Flygon itself, where he uses Draco Meteor to jump, and I'm glad he brought this tactic back because it led to a great moment where Raboot goes to use double kick but fire comes out instead and it ends up being a Blaze Kick. So it learns Blaze Kick while battling Zapdos, which I really enjoyed. It's the perfect move for Raboot really, and seeing as it's going to evolve soon, it's good that it's getting a bit of development to push it towards becoming a Cinderace. So Blaze Kick lands on Zapdos and it falls to the floor, and Go throws his Pokeball once again to capture it, and this moment was really good. I thought he'd caught it and I would have been disappointed if he did capture it. I think it made way more sense what happened. A massive stream of thunder comes down and cracks the Pokeball, shattering it. It looked really nicely animated. And then Zapdos was freed and restored the power to the generators, and also restored a bunch of electric type Pokemon to full health such as Pikachu and a bunch of the others, which could have been one of the reasons that it was there in the first place. I do think we'll see Zapdos again. It flew off and Cerise spoke about another storm above the water that was being caused, so I think it will return, and maybe even alongside the other 2 legendary birds. Maybe they're setting this goal for Go to finally capture Zapdos, and it will pay off even more once he does after this setup, which I would prefer rather than him capturing it in just one episode. So that was pretty much it for this episode. It was all about Zapdos and Go. Like I said before, Ash not playing a bigger role was a bit disappointing, and so was the raid battle with Team Rocket, but I guess you can't expect much from Team Rocket. But the battle at the end was really good, and I'm glad Go didn't capture Zapdos actually. So overall this episode gets a 7 out of 10. But this was nearly an 8 out of 10, but I don't like giving 0.5, so officially it's a 7, but on merit it's going to be a 7.5. So let me know what you thought about this episode. What would you rate it out of 10? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and see you next time.